Right, we've looked at basic shapes, hopefully, and now we're going to start putting some of those basic shapes together, and we're going to make some Greek vases. There's no right and wrong way of doing this. You're just going to put them together until you've got something you're happy with. This is going to be built up over several little lessons. Today, we're just going to be looking at adding a few basic shapes together, creating an interesting shape, and then the next lesson, we're going to look at the decoration. And then finally, we're going to put the decoration and our shapes together, but we're going to do it with chalk and charcoal. But today's the pencil skills. So for those children who are in my classes, this is the bit that you'd be doing in your sketchbooks to practice. Okay, so we've done basic shapes, we know how to do those, and now we're going to have a go at making our vases. I've done a couple here, so let's have a look. First of all, let's see if we can actually identify some of our shapes. So we've got a cylinder, we've got sort of a sphere. We've got a cylinder, a sphere, and a cone, and a cylinder. Cylinder, inverted cone, cylinder, cone, cylinder, sphere. Sort of cylinder and a cone combined, but with a chop topped off. Cylinder, sphere, and just obviously for the handles, they're just random shapes. And kind of a squished down sphere and a cylinder. It's just the basic shapes that we're going to put together. So I'm going to draw one for you now, and we'll just go through it and see how it's done. So as always, I just make this up as I go along. Do I want a lid? Yes, I'm going to have a lid on this one. So because it's a round object, I'm going to keep this nice oval. And try and keep that sense of symmetry. And I'm going to have it coming in just a little bit, so I bring it in. And again, curved lines. If I was to put a straight line on that, it would spoil it. Let me show you. So if I was to do that and then do a straight line, I've lost that 3D shape. You need to keep those curves in there. Sort of a cone. And then make quite a nice wide. So sort of a squashed, slightly squashed down sphere. And then I'm going to put a little base on it, and I'm just going to flare it out a little bit. And again, keeping those curves in. And I'm going to put just one handle on this. When I'm going to do my handle, I could draw the handle. Just on the side, but I don't think that's as interesting. I prefer drawing it where the object has been rotated just slightly, and so if the handle is here, it's just been brought around. So I'm going to put the handle like so. By bringing it slightly further forwards, it looks like you've rotated the object round. Just get rid of the lines I don't want. So when you're doing your Greek vases, what I normally do in classes, I'll say, right, divide your page into 4, and do 2 or 3 of these until you've got one you're happy with, and then work on the design that you really like, and that's going to be the one that you focus on. But have a go at doing a couple until you're sure that it's the one you really want. I think what I'm also going to do on this one is I'm going to put a little spout, because I can. Right, so as always, putting a little arrow, and that arrow tells me where my light is coming from, which means that this side is going to be lightest. The top and the right are going to be catching the light, and the left and the bottom are going to be in the dark. So going back to your basic shapes, just treat each of these as a separate shape. So there's my cylinder. As I said, I generally start from dark through to light because I find it easier. And don't overshade this because we are going to be putting decoration onto it later. We're not there yet, but that is something we are going to be looking at. So the underside of this will be a little bit darker because obviously the shape itself is going to be blocking the light from getting onto it. When we do this as our final picture, we'll be using chalk and charcoal, which is the easiest way of doing the light and the shade. It takes so many seconds. Pencil does take a fair bit longer. Right, that darker in there because there'll be very little light in there. Keeping those curves. If I was to start shading in a straight line, I'd have lost the shape that I'm trying to create at the base. Now for this handle, if I've got light, this bit here is going to be the lightest, and it's going to be darker here, darker on this underside. That will be a little bit lighter, and that will be darker. So it's not just a matter of drawing a solid line around it. You've got to really think about where is that light coming in and where is it going to be catching, and where do I need to put my light and my shade. So we're looking at the tone. Right. And that is basically that. So, how to draw a vase. Well, a vase, pot. There's some examples again. I think I've got another one somewhere that I did, but I can't find it, no matter. Right. Have a go, do a few of these, and then when you're happy with that, we'll move on to the next lesson, okay? Right, good luck, and if you can, show me how you're getting on. Bye.